Over here, experimenting with time, unfortunately, leaves one rarely surprised. I am a sage of the Psijic Order, as I assumed you would have realized since we're standing upon Artaeum. But I have a message. The Right Master requires your assistance. I'm sure the Right Master will provide details, though I can tell you it involves the augury spell he plans to cast upon the abyssal pearl that you and Valcerin discovered. You can find the Right Master in Kapora Tower.
Good, you're back. Valcerin suggested you would be invaluable in our efforts to extract information from the Abyssal Pearl, and I concur. We've started the augury ritual, but the Pearl has proven resistant to our efforts. A few insignificant echoes and a name to apply to it, but nothing to tell us who created it or what kind of magic it employs. It isn't Daedric in origin, though, despite the false Aldarch's allegiance. It's time to use... We're about to enter a crucial stage of the augury ritual, so none of us can leave this chamber. If you could find my acolyte, Oriandra, she'll provide you with the amplification. Oriandra should be in Sothasil's chambers, cataloging his old research and experiments. Tell her I need the amplification elixir to strengthen our augury ritual. That should help us determine what the pearl is and where it came from. Leader implies command, and a level of structure more suited to an army than an order of mystic monks. That said, I oversee the Psijic Order, and our conclave of the 11 forces. Someone must steer the ship, after all. Is there something else? You have traveled across the mystic realms to reach the island we call Artaeum. As an uninitiated, this may sound confusing, but the Psijic Order changes the location of its headquarters on occasion. And by that I mean Tamriel. My friend, you left the boundaries of Nirn behind you when you stepped through that portal. Only a select few, not of our order, are ever granted this honor. Luminaries such as Sothasil and yourself. The ritual has reached a critical stage. If we stop now, we'll have to start all over again. Besides, such a trivial use of magic is beneath members of the Psijic Order. While the majority of our order falls under the Altmer persuasion, we sometimes invite those of other races who possess powerful magical talents to join us. Oriandra is one such. The Wyrus Oracle's prophecy, yes, she informed me of her vision. That's why I agreed to Valcerin's request to involve you in this matter. Summerset, Artaeum, and the Daedric princes that Sothasil warned us about. Coincidences, or there's a greater threat facing us than what we have so far been made aware of. I don't sense Daedric magic in the Pearl, but there is a stronger presence that I...
You must be the adventurer that Valcerin was going on about. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to our secret island. Oh, I suppose you already talked to the Right Master, seeing as you're here in Kapora Tower. That strange pearl has certainly been reluctant to reveal its secrets. The Right Master hates it when an inanimate object refuses to cooperate. Regarding the amplification elixir, I just cataloged it. What? No, not in the traditional sense. He's not one of our monks, if that's what you're asking. More like an honorary member. As soon as the pearl arrived via Valcerin's transference spell, the Right Master gathered the conclave to prepare an augury ritual. He's been cycling sages through to keep them fresh, while slowly increasing the intensity of the ritual. I'm the Right Master's acolyte. I have other duties to perform. Besides, such a complex ritual requires the power of the conclave of the 11 forces. I'm not that strong yet. Despite opinions to the contrary, being an Altmer isn't a prerequisite for membership in the Psijic Order. The Right Master noticed my potential and invited me to join. I had a year to consider the offer, but I made my decision immediately. I'm not allowed to reveal where you are or how our magic works. other than to tell you that you have arrived upon the fabled island of the Psijic Order, Artaeum. Well, we're not...
Was Oriandra able to direct you to the proper elixir? Without something to amplify the magic, our ritual is going to... Just in time. For the next stage of the ritual, if you have no objections, I'd like you to join us. Your experiences alongside Valcerin might... We'll handle the magic. You pour the elixir into the scrying pool and stand close. As the ritual's power amplifies, your experiences with the Pearl and the false Aldark should help the augury do its job. We want to discover the origin of the Pearl and its strange magic. In addition, anything we can learn about the false Aldark and his connection to the Pearl, pour the elixir into the pool. That should provide the final boost we need to trigger the augury.
Here we stand, the most favored servants of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal, on the verge of the greatest victory for our princes.
Are you sure those creatures can be trusted?
Have no fear. Isn't that why we formed the Court of Bedlam? Besides, what happens next in Relenthiel will seal Summerset's fate.
Change of plans?
That was unnerving. It seems the false Aldark belonged to an alliance of Daedric cultists called the Court of Bedlam. Imagine, the faithful of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal working together. This is more serious than I anticipated. No, but I'm hardly an expert on the Daedric cults of Tamriel. The magic I sensed in the Pearl, though, it doesn't contain the taint of oblivion. We're missing something. I hoped you'd say that. Relenthiel sits to the west of Shimmerine, just across the mountains. I'll send Valcerin with you to talk to the Cannon Reeve. The false Aldark may be dead, but Mephala's and Nocturnal's agents remain, as well as the Pearls. I may not be a natural prognosticator, but I had a feeling you might. Go ahead. I'll answer what I can. From what I've experienced, an alliance isn't just unusual, it's contrary to their very nature. Oh, they'll work together from time to time, but something as complex as what Sotha Seal hinted at is unheard of.
Ah, Raz's investigations have brought him to Relenthiel. When this one noticed your Psijic friend slip into town, Raz figured you'd be along soon. So, what did you discover on Artaeum, the island that isn't here anymore? Ah, that made Raz's head. Yes, this one has been exploring the Daedric connection as well. But Raz hates Daedra. In Raz's experience, very little good comes from dealing with Daedra. That is disturbingly vague. Why must cryptic cultists be so... cryptic? Well, Raz saw Valserin head toward Canon Reeve Farmeldo's house. This one suggests we start our...
Drat! Which one could he possibly be?
Go inside and we'll discuss this later. And take off that ridiculous hood.
Ridiculous? I'll show you what's ridiculous. I'll show you all!
You think as Canon Reeve I'd be immune to the troublesome temper of a spoiled and rebellious child. But what distinguished visitors I have today. A wandering sage, a well-dressed Khajiit, and you. What brings such a group to Relenthal? Investigating. For who? Well, there have been 3 reports this week of someone disappearing. And my intractable son Nadoril and his malcontent friends have been cavorting around the large sinkhole. What are you implying? They're just young and proud of their heritage. I wouldn't draw such a harsh conclusion without substantial evidence. It's unusual for newcomers to encroach upon Altmer affairs, especially since we rarely saw any prior to the Queen's decree.
Raz wants to ask the Canon Reeve a few more questions. Take the Sijic and go investigate this sinkhole.
Dawnbreaker, open the way! Oh, come on! Stupid Daedric interference! I'll be back!
I think we can enter through these roots.
Nidoril's mad! He attacked Eldon, and one of those horrible creatures tore off my hood!
That young woman was certainly in a hurry. And what was that about Nadoril and an attack? Yes, well, let's be on our guard then. I don't think this sinkhole is completely natural. Its size concerns me. If the ground continues to fall away, it could swallow all of Relenthal. It certainly feels dangerous. And if it does figure into the Court of Bedlin's plans, well, I can't think of a more frightening event than watching... The walls and ceiling, they don't look stable. I'll try to reinforce the weak spots and catch up with you.
This is a fight metal. Would it kill them to run away? Well, no, I guess it wouldn't. Maybe they should try that.
More of those Yagla creatures. Be careful. The size of this place. It's almost as if someone dug up through the island. I'll teleport closer to the central area and meet you there.
Someone there! Help! Please help!
Crazy bastard! Stabbed me! God! It was just kind of fun, joining the court of Bedlam, espousing the virtues of our... When we heard that they planned to release those creatures, I made the mistake of saying they were insane. Littoral objective.
The court of Bedlam will eradicate the lesser races. Maybe even deal with our unworthy queen.
Over here. Keep quiet and tell me if you see what I see. You see that, right? My eyes aren't playing tricks on me. That's a sea slode. They haven't been seen in Summerset since... a vile and dangerous species. Very powerful. The sea slode come from the distant underwater kingdom of Ulvorkus. Who's that hooded figure with the slode? And look, more of those abyssal pearls. They're everywhere. The slode are a godless people, perhaps the most hated in Tamriel. And the sea slode are even worse. They employ depraved magic and have long coveted Summerset. The hooded figure could be a member of this so-called Court of Bedlam. At this point, nothing would surprise me. That slode has me worried, though. They could certainly have a connection to the sea slode's submerged kingdom, but they appear to have been placed down here. Look how the Yagra are drawn.
Master! Intruders in the cave!
Heed me, my creatures! Destroy the intruders!
That young idiot! We need to get over there!
Witness the power of Kator on the Abyssal Cabal!
Almost there. Destroy the pearls! We can't let those creatures reach the surface!
You lead.
The sea slode and the hooded figure are gone. I'll try to determine where they disappeared to. This way! Up here!
In a big family, you have to know how to scrap.
Damn! No sign of where the sea slode disappeared to. Damn it! I wasn't fast enough. For the time being. The sea slode left us something to remember it by. We need to dispatch that creature. There! I think we can get out over there.
Hurry, this way! Somehow Raz knew he'd find you here.
Sea slodes! This is worse than the Right Master imagined. Meet me in Artane.
Did the pretty Sijik say sea slode? No, Raz must have heard wrong. That could not have been what she said. Slode? That's bad. And sea slode? That sounds even worse. If the sea slode threatens Summerset, Queen Irene must be informed. We need to act. Wait, Daedra worshippers. In Summerset. And slode. Oh, Raz likes this situation.
The Eye of the Queen? How dare you accuse my son of treason? The Queen's Eye. How dare he not identify himself when he first arrived? And how dare he accuse my foolish son of something as serious as treason? The Queen shall hear of this, mark my... Sea slode? Plus all this nonsense about Altma's superiority, and now murder? I am the Canon Reaver. Oh, Nadoril, what have you done? Please, you must talk to the Queen's Eye. He needs to show mercy.
God! Foolishness can be ignored. Murder and treason, not so much.
You and your queen have no authority over a true Altma, you mangy cat.
This one cannot allow your crimes to stand unanswered.
Nadoril! No! No! I understand. Relenthil is loyal to the Queen.
Sometimes the eye sees treason and must cut it out before it spreads. This one is sorry you had to witness that. Blasphemy, treason, murder. How many crimes must one commit to attract the attention? Treason and the Queen's justice are serious business. Raz has been forced into this role on rare occasions, but he never seeks it out. No. Raz will see to the Canon Reeve and send word to the Queen before looking deeper into the Court of Bedlam. You...
Ah, friend of Valcerin. I've been informed that you encountered a sea slode in a sinkhole beneath Relanthiel. That bodes ill for Summerset, perhaps all of Nirn. I fear there are difficult... I'm familiar with that particular sea slode and its renegades. Call themselves the Abyssal Cabal. I thought I defeated them long ago, but it appears I was in error. What about the pearls? Val described those seaborne monstrosities. I have a vague recollection of Keturah utilizing such creatures in the past, but for some reason, the memories refuse to snap into focus. I suppose that's another The Daedric princes require minions to carry out their will, and the Slode have always had an interest in the green and pleasant island. It isn't hard to see why they might work together. For now, you have my... I asked the Conclave of the 11 Forces to ponder how we can learn more from the Abyssal Pearl. With the additional information you provided, I expect that the more we learn, the more the nature of the threat becomes clear.